I'm just trying to figure out here, like what I think is going on. Again, this is my just opinion. I just think there's a standoff till August 6th. I don't expect anything to happen here in the next few days. I think there's just a genuine standoff till August 6th, where both sides are kind of looking at each other. Danny Ainge is looking at Mike Dunleavy and saying, really, like, you're going to prioritise Brandin Podziemski over getting a genuine second star, proven player for Steph Curry? Really? You're going to do that? And then from Mike Dunleavy's point of view, it's looking at Danny Ainge and saying, really, you're going to prioritise a guy who is probably not a top 15 or 20 player in the league. You're going to prioritise that guy over trying to potentially get access to a top-tier superstar prospect in the draft next year. Like, you're really going to prioritise Lauri Markkanen over a genuine chance of Cooper Flagg. That's the standoff right now. And I don't think either team is necessarily going to budge until around that August 6th date. Like, that August 6th date, we know it's obviously for Markkanen's, becomes eligible for a contract extension. That is essentially a trade deadline almost, where we know something is going to happen by that point. And in the final 24 hours or something before that August 6th date, one of the teams going to move. Is it going to be the Warriors and Mike Dunleavy saying, oh, we love Pods, but yeah, all right, we'll deal Pods. Here's Pods, couple of picks, maybe Moody as well, and one of GP2 or Looney, and we get Markkanen, right? And it's agonising, and we don't like doing it, but it will make us better, and it prioritises Steph's prime. Or do the Jazz say, yeah, look, we just don't we really don't want to pay this guy. We don't really want this guy on the roster next season, hurting our chances of tanking. Okay, yeah, we'll do the deal for Moody, Peyton, Looney, and all the picks you've got. Now, history would suggest Danny Ainge usually comes out on the right side of these negotiations in terms of getting a big package in return for his player. We don't really have too much history in terms of Mike Dunleavy. I mean, he's done that one big trade of Jordan Poole for Chris Paul, which is like a lose-lose trade, a win for the 28 other teams that weren't involved in the trade, you'd imagine. So, we don't have too much history on that. And we have a history that Danny Ainge does pretty well in these negotiations. But I don't know. We'll just wait and see. But I do think, as a result, it's a standoff. I do think it's important for the Warriors. So the trade that I just proposed is like Looney, GP2, Moody, and the picks. That would actually be sending out $4.9 million more in salary than what they bring back in. Markkanen's making 18. Those three players combined make 22.9. I think that's a little bit important when you're thinking about if this is a 3-for-1 trade, which it would have to be if Pods is involved as well. Then if it was a 3-for-1 trade, that leaves 2 roster spots open for the Warriors, and having actually a bit of financial freedom or flexibility, I suppose, to go out and get a couple more players on the roster. Like if you do that deal and you're bringing back $4.9 million less, then all of a sudden you can go and sign another veteran minimum free agent. You can go and potentially put Quentin Post on the roster as well. So I think that's important, that if a deal does get made here, and it's a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 trade, you're probably going to see the Warriors take back or give up a little bit more salary. And maybe that means they have to give up more in the trade as well. I don't know. We'll wait and see here. But as I said, I do think right now that it's a standoff with both teams kind of, retaining their stance until we get close to the August 6th deadline, and we'll see who budges or who blinks first.